Hello, I'm Kevin Coppola, President and Founder of Compass Investors. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use our Retirement Outlook Calculator. The calculator is primarily intended to help you see where you are on the path to your retirement and understand the three factors under your control that have the biggest influence on reaching the goal of having retirement income security. We define retirement income security as being able to maintain your standard of living once you retire until at least age 90. So if you have not already done so, please either click on the URL on the screen or below the video to access our web-based version of our calculator, or search for and download the Retirement Outlook Calculator app on your mobile device from the Google Play or Apple App Stores. In this video, I'll be using the web-based version of the calculator, but the mobile app version works the same way. On the left side, you will answer questions about yourself, your expectations for retirement, and your current retirement savings approach. Once you have answered all these questions, a current projection of how long your money is expected to last will appear in the Retirement Outlook section on the right side. So let's get started with an example. Our worker, we'll call her Sue, is 30 years old, making $40,000 a year, and she expects her salary to grow on average 3% a year over the course of her career. She has saved $10,000 so far in her company retirement plan. For inflation, we will enter the historical average of 3%, which has been defaulted for you. When we click Next, we are asked questions about Sue's expectations for her retirement. Note a few things. First, default values, basically national averages, have been filled in for you. Second, you can use either the slider bars or click the plus and minus icons to adjust the values shown. Third, as you saw earlier, as you hover the mouse over each entry, a pop-up will appear with more information about that entry. And fourth, in the center section, you now see that the answers to the questions we just completed in the About You section appear here. We will assume that Sue would like to retire at age 65. We're now going to focus on the three key factors under your control that have the greatest impact on how much money you will have for your retirement. You'll be able to enter new values for any of these factors and immediately see how the changes you make impact how long your money will last in retirement. We now come across the first of those three factors, the lifestyle you want to have in your retirement. The answer to the lifestyle goal question is answered as a percentage of your final salary that you would like to have throughout your retirement years. In other words, if you want to maintain your lifestyle, which is our goal, you would leave the value at the default of 100%. Entering a lower number would indicate a reduced quality of life and a higher number, a better one. For Sue, we're going to leave the default. Next, we are asked about the second of those three factors under your control, investment return. This question has to do with the type of investment return you expect to have on the balance of your retirement savings during your retirement. Now, right or wrong, most people are told to become very conservative as they enter retirement and keep the majority of their money in fixed income or cash investments. A conservative average return of this type of investment is around 3%, so we will enter that value for Sue. Click Next, and now we come to questions about our saving strategy while we are working. First question has to do with contributions, how much you save each year as a percentage of your salary, and second, how well you are going to invest the money while you are working. You'll notice that a preliminary projection of how long Sue's savings are expected to last now appears in the right panel based on her answers so far. But let's take a look at the defaults for these two questions and see if we want to keep them. Notice that there is a drop-down box for retirement approach and there are several choices presented. After you make a selection, the current average long-term investment return corresponding to that selection will be filled in for you. I'm going to select the investment approach that Sue was most likely assigned to when she first got hired, and it's the typical default option for most employees, the target date fund. Notice now that the value for the investment return has been changed to 6.5% for us. The last and final factor that we can control is our annual contributions. That is, what percentage of her salary are you going to save every paycheck? Nationally, this averages around 9%, which includes the average employer matching contribution. So let's change this to 9% from the default of 5. We've now answered all the questions required to provide a projection of how long your money will last in retirement. Given Sue's answers, our calculator tells us that she can expect to run out of money by age 72. This is obviously well short of the goal we discussed earlier of having her money last at least until age 90. So, what now? Well, Sue is going to schedule a meeting with her financial planner and ask their advice on how to make her money last longer. At this meeting, for sure, she will be given one or both of two suggestions. First, either lower her expectations for retirement, or second, increase her contributions, in other words, save more while she's working. Let's look at the first suggestion. Lots of financial planners will suggest that you will be able to live on less in retirement. After all, the house will be paid off, the kids will be out of college. So what if they are right? Let's cut her expected standard of living in retirement in half to 50%. That only brought her 7 more years in retirement. But when you think about the possible unexpected costs incurred in retirement for good things like travel and bad things like medical bills, inflation, the kids moving back home, we suggest that you err on the safe side here and aim for at least that 100% number. So let's go ahead and put that number back. The next thing she would be told is that she's not saving enough. So let's go back and save more. In fact, let's increase the amount she's going to contribute from 9% of her salary all the way up to 15%. Notice that this, which is more than a 60% increase in savings for all 35 years that Sue will be working, bought her just another 4 years in retirement from age 72 to 76, again still woefully short of her goal of 90. But it is a good idea to save as much as you can, so we're going to leave this number at 15. But we still have to find an answer to this problem of making the money last to 90. So let's go back and look at our possible retirement approaches. Notice that our Horizon service is included as one of the choices. So let's select the first option, which leaves her contributions unchanged at 15%. As you can see, as a result of Horizon's double-digit investment return, Sue has now reached her goal of having her money last until age 104. So how is it that this allowed her to exceed her goal? Basically, an increase in investment return has an exponential effect on the amount of money that you have put in versus a linear effect of just contributing more. Once you have a better investment return, it opens up a world of possibilities. Let me prove that to you. Let's say that Sue really wanted to live it up in retirement, travel the world, send all her grandchildren to Harvard. She could go back, bump up her standard of living by 50%, and still be able to expect her money to last into her 90s. Or she could maintain her standard of living, so let's put that back to 100%. And while I don't advocate doing it, if she needed to, for whatever reason, she could lower her savings back to that 9% she started with, and as you can see, she would still achieve the goal. One last thing, which is important, she could, as we suggest to our retired subscribers, continue to stay market-focused during retirement, as opposed to cashing it out and putting everything in fixed income and other safe investments, and she could easily and safely raise that 3% to 6%. Watch what happened. I'm going to go back, save 15%, and Sue has virtually assured that she will never outlive her money and be able to maintain her pre-retirement standard of living. So in review, there are 3 key retirement factors you can control: your lifestyle in retirement, how much you save, and most importantly, what you do to invest those savings. I hope that this example proved beyond doubt that what has the greatest impact on ensuring you do not outlive your money, it's not to lower your expectations for retirement or simply to save more, although that is important. But what is most important is that you be smart about what you do with those savings and consider everything possible to safely improve your investing returns. Given you only have one chance to save for your retirement during your working years, and that retirement is getting closer every passing day, I urge you to take action on this today. So download and enter your information into the calculator. Play with the key factors. Put in combinations of those three until you get to a number that allows you to have your money last at least until age 90. Don't aim low here. You only have that one chance, so start, and start now.